second Monday of every month, at the second up o'clock for 8 a.m. Anybody can be a member. It costs $50 a year. And thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. And thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here. When Ken asked me if I could take a few minutes out and share with you, I was very honored and looking forward to just talking about a few things, actually. But what I like to do is typically I write a business column for the Journal magazine, and it goes to all over Monmouth County, several other folks that have the same and so forth. And I usually like to pull one of those and work from one of those topics. And since the Rotary is kind of a, I would say, not only a great club, but also kind of a networking aspect to it with all that you're doing, I thought I'd use the titled article, Networking Works, or How's Networking Working for You, actually. And I will be actually giving you a copy of this actual article. But I'd just like to touch on a few things here, because I enjoy going out, meeting people, and often people say, so does networking get you a lot of business? And it's not so much the business that it gets us, but it does have an impact on the way we do business and the people we have the privilege of doing business with. And so it kind of ties in well to what we do as a company from a cultural standpoint. And just to give you a little background, I know, some of these bios can have all kinds of crazy accolades in there and so forth. I tend to pay attention to bios, especially the people who I'm going to have to sit and listen to for the next 15 minutes. And I promise you won't be much longer than that. Because I want to know if that person has some real street cred, as I would call it, and if they're out there really doing it, or if this is someone who's just talking the talk. And many times we've been in situations, I know you all have probably, where you've been at a conference or a meeting, and you're hearing from someone who's either hasn't been in the field in a long time, or has maybe never actually had practical experience, but they wrote about a lot of interesting things. My experience really comes from practical things, and one of the things I'm working on right now is, as you heard from the two young ladies that are with me today, CSAV Systems is where I'm really focused today. I'm the president and CEO of that company. And a few years ago, we decided to grow that company, and we've been growing on a regular basis, and it's a really exciting time for us. And as business people here yourself, I know those types of things are important to you. And over the last few years, we've been able to go from 3 people in our office in a little 500 square foot facility to a 4,000 square foot facility with 25 people. And we're still on the grow. And I'm excited about that. I'm only sharing that with you, not for a pat on the back for me, but to let you know that the things you're experiencing in business, the things you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis, I'm dealing with on a day-to-day basis. So I don't look at these things from an esoteric standpoint, I look at them more from a practical standpoint. And my real goal today is if I can give you 1 or 2 tidbits about the topic that can help you in your business, I hope you'll take those and apply them today. And that's always my goal. So we're going to talk a little bit about networking, and you're probably thinking, well, I do networking, I know about networking. I might give you a little bit different twist today, maybe just a little reinforcement to what you're doing. But the bottom line is, in my opinion, networking works. And if you handle it right. Now, there's a couple of things I'd like to point out. First off, in networking, where you go and what events you participate in are very, very important. And we're going to talk in a minute about choosing them and choosing them wisely. But also, when you go to an event, even if it's a group event, how many people go out regularly to network events, besides the Rotary, outside the Rotary? So maybe half of you. That's great, because it really, for me, has opened up a lot of opportunities, especially in the community. Especially if you like to do work in the community and different social groups and so forth outside of your business, it gives you some great exposure. But I find there's 3 basic people that go to a network event. First person will say, let's call them the social butterfly. They basically go because they want to have a good time. So they're out, they need a night out, maybe their boss said, I'll pay for it if you go, and they go and they have fun. And really the whole event is about what food are they serving, how many people they can say hello to, and sometimes even what's the bar serving. So those types of people are great, but they tend to lean towards the social aspect of networking. And then, for me, there's also, I see the people who are kind of the freebie people. And what I mean by freebie people is they're looking to get all the little chops. Whatever good things are out, they're trying to pick them up. They might be that guy who stands in the corner throwing his business card out like that. You ever see those guys? Like, as soon as you walk out, hi, here's my business card. Hi, here's my business card. Right? Those guys drive me crazy. But then there's the third person, and I call those the serious business people. Right? Now, if any of you fell in the first 2 categories, I hope I didn't offend you, I'm sorry, but I'm going to help you, or try to help you move into this third category, and that's what I call the real biz seekers. And the biz seekers, quite honestly, I don't know about you, but I've been fortunate. I have a lovely wife at home, I love her dearly, I have some great kids, I enjoy the town I live in. I like going out meeting people, I love to work, it's my passion, but I'd really rather be with my wife right now, sitting on a beach and standing in front of the Rotary Club. No offense, right? This is a good second choice, all right? Good second choice. Good way to start. Yeah, exactly. It's a good way to start the day. So, and I will be meeting my wife at about 5 o'clock to take a long walk on the boardwalk, so I'm thinking about that. So I'm excited about that, and looking at the beautiful Navajo. But with that in mind, when my time, I tend to value very strongly, because let's face it, there's nothing more valuable than time, because you can't make more time, right? You can make more money, you can put in more hours, whatever, as far as work goes, you can get more effort going, but there's no more time, right? So we only have a certain amount of time. So with that in mind, when I pick a network event that I'm going to go to, I'm going to make sure to do my best that that event's going to be successful. And I know it kind of works walking in with that mentality, because I've been to many events, trade shows, and things of that nature, where I've gone to them and walked away with some great, powerful contacts, and on the way out, I'm talking to people, and they're saying, boy, that was the worst event I ever went to, or I didn't meet anybody in there, or I'll never go back to that, and I'm walking out with what I think is gold, and I met the people I need to meet. Now, I'm in a little bit different situation, because I'm in a very niche market business, so it's a little bit more unique in that I can't just get business from anybody, and that's why I say, in networking, the most valuable part of networking for me is when I am talking to people and able to interact with people. You mind if I take my jacket off? A little warm here, right? No, it's hot. Yeah. Yeah. So I might get to the tie in a minute and maybe I'm looking at that river in the shirt. So the important thing is that I like to have fun, but I also want to go for a specific reason. So when I go, my first question is for people, and this is where it's a little bit different, is I often want to know, how can I help you? What is it that you do? You know, it's nice to find out that Warren or Michael are in the printing business, or that Ken is in the financial business, or that Chris is in the business, right? And other things of that nature. Give me 1 second, I might grab a glass of water here. But the bottom line is, thank you very much. I have these allergies, been driving me crazy all day. So there you go, perfect. The long and short of it is that when I go out, I want to be serious about what I'm doing. And yes, I'll enjoy myself. Yes, I don't mind good food. And yes, I don't mind meeting people. But I'm really looking for something specific. So when I tend to see those freebie guys with the business cards, or the people who are socialites, I tend to keep my eyes open for the business seekers. And when I can find the person who's maybe dressed professionally, maybe standing there talking to plenty of people, maybe interacting and connecting with others, which is always an important part, the connectors, right? Those are the type of people I tend to gravitate towards. Because if I'm going to make a network event work for me, I'm going to come in with the mindset that I'm here to do business. Now, the great thing is that I like about networking is I try to reverse the roles. Now, the average person comes into networking and they're right away willing to tell you what they do. Hi, my name's Joe and this is me, boom, 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 and they have their elevator pitch. And that's okay. I tend to take a different tack. I'd like to know from you how I can help you. Because I just found in life, and I wouldn't doubt that this kind of aligns with the Rotary thought process, the more people I can help, it eventually comes back to me. So as opposed to trying to sell something, and let's face it, right? Everybody likes to buy, nobody likes to be sold, right? So instead of going out there and trying to sell something, I want to find out about the other person. I'd like to find out how I can help you. Questions like, what does a good client look like to you? Or questions like, so what brings you here tonight for this event? And I don't mean your car, you know, I mean something serious about your business. Or what type of business do you look for at these events? So things of that nature allow me to find out who I'm talking to see if that person is someone of interest to me from a business perspective, or from a community perspective, or maybe from a charitable perspective, like Ellen. And it gives me the opportunity to also listen and hear. And of course, listening is the key, in my profession at least, to building relationships. And relationships are what it's all about in business. So we can go out and look for customers, we can go out and look for the dollar, we can go out and chase this or that. But if you chase the relationship, you can build, everything else comes after that. So that's a whole nother, actually, article that I wrote, relationship building. But basically, a couple of quick points, and I'll wrap it up. One is, look for the person that's going to bring you the business if you're serious about networking. Now again, if you're that social butterfly, and you like that, that works for you, that's fine. It just happens to be that I like to be sociable, but I also like to gain some business from my effort. So first rule of thumb, look for the people that are going to help you. Another rule of thumb in networking, never sit next to somebody you know. We tend to gravitate into quicks, right? We see the guy we know over in the corner. That might be a great icebreaker, you know? Walk over there and say hello because they're the only person in the room you know maybe, right? But if you stand with that person the rest of the night, what have you really achieved, right? So look around, work the room, try to meet as many new people as you can. So never sit with somebody you know. And then the third thing is, choose your events wisely. Now, let's face it, there's a lot of events we could all be participating in. I had no idea you guys met 52 times a year. That's terrific. It's very unusual for groups, but that's powerful. There's a lot of other groups. There's the Greater Monmouth Chamber of Commerce, the Northern Monmouth Chamber of Commerce, the Cold Lake Business Association. There's so many groups out there. Choose your groups wisely. And I want to just give you a little insight in that, because having founded several groups myself and a number of them being pretty successful, there's a couple of things that can even help you within the confines of the network. So within this third part, there's a couple of little subsections, and this third part is choose your groups wisely and choose your events wisely. Are they social events? First off, there's some events that tend to lean towards the social. They have a lot of fun, there's a lot of drinking, there's a lot of whatever going on. If that's not your scene, look for the business ones. Are you going to 3 events where the same people at every event? That's very common, especially in Monmouth County. You may go 3 different times, 3 different days, weeks, whatever, and you see the same people. You need to maybe drop one of those groups and think of something else or someplace else to spend your time. Is the group conducive to what your business style is? Does it fit you? Is it comfortable? Because if you're going to get involved, you might as well have something that works within the confines of your culture and what you're comfortable with and what you like to work within. And then, of course, the other one is, can you commit? And I think that's really important. I'm going to wrap up with this. Can you commit? Let's face it, there are a lot of organizations out there, and some we're going to be involved in a superficial way, and some we're going to be involved in a very deep and participatory way. I find that the best results we get out of any organization that we join are the ones we commit to, that we dig deeper into. And that's why I encourage people, especially in groups like this, if you have subcommittees, if you have things going on outside of the group, if you have events that you're working with the youth or whatever it happens to be out in the field with the poor, the thirsty, or whatever, by getting involved at the next level, not just coming to the meetings and floating through, but really digging down, meeting other people in the group, getting on committees, becoming president, or whatever, that's when those groups become the most valuable to you. They'll have the greatest return for you when you really do take the time to commit to the group and dig a little deeper than just the superficial. Now again, we can't be all things to all people. We can't be everywhere at all times. And we do things a little bit unique in our family at CSAV because we like to participate in a lot of network groups. So we have about 8 people on our staff between sales and marketing that attend groups. So we tend to cover a lot of groups, probably 3 or 4 meetings a week on the average, as a team. So each one of my people are usually out one night a week, including myself, at some type of network event. And that may run anywhere from Middlesex County to Ocean County to Monmouth County and so forth. But the point is we kind of try to spread ourselves out. And that's one of the reasons why I've studied networking so much. Because I think that it is a powerful tool. It can work well for you if you take advantage of it the way you really can take advantage of it. And of course, I'm hoping that these few points I gave you specifically about networking can make a difference in the way you take the time to go out and invest that time into your network. And of course, it is an investment in time, and it's an investment that I strongly encourage. And that's why it's a blessing to speak to a bunch of people here who are already in the game doing it, and the Rotary is obviously a very powerful way to do it. And if I can encourage you at all, it's to look into your organization deeper and say, how can I get more involved? Not just thinking about what's the next luncheon or what's on the next menu or what's going on next week, but how can I get more deeply involved? Because that's when you get the gratification out of it. Having founded the Cold Lake Business Association about 10 years ago, I've served in just about every capacity in the organization, and I'm now a permanent member of the board as an advisor, and quite honestly, it's been hard work. We've got a lot done, but it's been a real blessing to me and my family to be able to participate and be involved with so many people. And it's a really exciting thing when you decide to commit to something and you watch it really flourish. So again, I encourage you to continue your networking. I encourage you to dig deeper into the Rotary. And I encourage you to read my articles in the journal. And actually, I'm going to ask Kimberly to give you a copy of the article I just spoke about, because I really didn't cover every inch of it. But I think this copy will help you to take it home. And I hope that all of your interactions in business are profitable. And I wish you much great success. Thanks.